For more now on tonight's topic is Tarnisha Clayette, Vice President of the Manatee NAACP and President also of the Manatee Black Chamber of Commerce, Zaria Covington, a student organizer for Black Lives Matter protests, and Adeba Wally-Nanette, an organizer with Answer Suncoast. Was that close?
Adeba Wally, very close.
I was doing well in rehearsal, wasn't I? That's right. Zaria, you attend Manatee High School. What happened last Wednesday? Take us back to that, which really sparked this whole thing.
So it was a part of our Homecoming Spirit Week, and Wednesday was National Pride Day. So a lot of students, they came with their Trump wear, their Trump flags, and so one student decided to bring a Confederate flag. And so a lot of us, oh, actually, I didn't even see the Confederate flag. I didn't even know about it until I got on Facebook and I saw the photo. And so a lot of us, we kind of felt some type of way about that because we felt like that was a little too far and it was a little bit disrespectful. So we decided to take action.
Have there been signs of the Confederate flag previously in the high school?
No.
That was the first?
Yeah, that was like the first time since I've been attending. So I've never seen it too.
And you mentioned the Trump T-shirts.
Yeah, a lot of the kids, they had their Trump T-shirts and they brought like Trump flags and all that stuff too. So
now, is that found offensive as well?
Not to me,
right.
Maybe to some other kids, but it wasn't to me. I expected it.
Right. There are two candidates. So Thursday, you organized a protest.
Myself and a few other of my friends and my classmates, we got together and we said, let's, since they wanted to, bring the Confederate flag and, put that out, we decided, okay, let's get together, do it peacefully, do it the right way. We aren't trying to be violent, trying to start a riot. That wasn't our, in our thoughts. So we wanted to do a peaceful thing, and we, just said, let's wear all black to show that, we are important as well. And because there was a lot of other things that were going on. There was a lot of, ripping of other people's flags, and there were like racial slurs going around. So, like a lot of the seniors were saying things to minorities, so we were like, let's, do it peacefully. We're not gonna do the same thing that we did to them, that they did to us. So we wanted to just, wear all black and show that we are important just as any other person.
And there was apparently quite an organization, a groundswell, because Nanette, you had told me that each high school in Manatee County took part the next day.
Yes, they did. Palmetto High School, Bayshore High School Southeast, Manatee High School, Lakewood Ranch, Braden and River. All of these schools participated with 30+ students wearing all black, in Manatee with over 100 students, and they managed to do this all on their own within 24 hours. So we're quite proud of them.
Tarnisha, are you surprised at that quickly, the ability to motivate like that?
Actually, no. With the era of social media, I think it goes viral, and once it goes out into those streams of Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, it's instant. And so we actually was not surprised that it went so viral like it did, because it's a controversial subject in this area. So I think it did rightfully so.
And you had mentioned, Zaria, that long before last Wednesday there had been some racial tension in the schools?
Yes, and well, it hasn't ever happened to me, but a lot of the kids, I think they do it to feel cool, or since like it's a lot of more seniors kind of talking down on the younger kids, so I kind of feel like that's how all that goes, and it's unacceptable, but that's what they do.
Have you noticed a change in the past few years? I mean, you're our link to the youth generation at this moment. The rest of us have all gotten out of high school.
Yes, I think for me, I'm much more vocal about a lot of things that I see, especially if they're wrong. Because when I was younger, I used to kind of be like, if I saw something or someone say something that was, not okay to the next person, I would kind of just sit back and not say anything. But now that I'm older and I've seen a lot of, crazy things go on, I become much more vocal and get it on the spot. and, you know, help the next person out that's going through something.
And you get quick support from administration as well, if need be. Nanette, where did you go to high school?
I actually went to high school at Southeast. Graduated there in 2011.
And how do you think the atmosphere has changed? I imagine you might have some folks you stay in touch with back there.
Absolutely. In all honesty, a lot of things haven't changed, but a lot more things are being exposed and they're coming to light. Southeast is in a predominantly black-brown community or low-income community, with a lot of the students that attend there being part of low-income families. So you see a lot of racial tension in these type of schools and in this community. I don't think things are changing. A lot more things are being exposed and brought to light. So now it's our turn and our time as adults to come through and supervise and support these children, because like she said, now she's feeling more vocal about things that are going on, and it's our duty to come through and support these young people.
And you feel that some progress is being made.
Absolutely.
And I know, Tarnisha, you've got some information to add as far as historically, but we're going to have you hold that for now, if you don't mind.
Sure will.
We're going to take a quick break right now. There's more of our Roundtable next. Tonight we're discussing the recent series of Black Lives Matters protests in Manatee County. To discuss this and what it means for our area, Tarnisha Clayette, the Vice President of the Manatee NAACP, Zaria Covington, a student organizer for Black Lives Matter protests, and Addie Boisvali, Nanette. I'm getting closer. You deserve that. An organizer with Answers Suncoast. Thank you again all for being here. And the first time you saw a weather forecast being done right in front of your faces and saw how unique it is, didn't you? Yeah. Special for you. Tarnisha, you went to Palmetto High School, I believe?
That's correct.
Let me lob you a broad brush question here. Take it how you wish. How have things changed? Broad brush question, I admit. How have things changed in the schools?
Well, honestly, there was not social media back then. It was not even around. Cell phones were a little on the bigger side, so you didn't have access to internet via cell phone. So that's definitely a couple things.
Were there any issues? Were there simmering issues when you were in high school?
There were issues that, as race-related, when I went to Palmetto High School, but it was something that I think we quickly resolved. And we had unity as it relates to the African American and the Caucasian students, and then the Latino community as well.
I'll put you on the spot. Why do you think the tone has changed? Is it social media or more?
I think it's a facet of a combination of things, I think. I think, as Lynette said here, it's something that's been in existence, but it's more prevalent now because of the social media. And then you have, in this generation, the kids aren't accepting a lot of the things that took place back then, and they're really speaking out about it. So I think that's a couple things.
You get the impression that students are more engaged now than they were years ago?
I think, again, with the social media, it gives you the opportunity to look at it instantly. So the things that may have taken us 3 days or 4 days to get the information, we get it instantly now. And then
I'll skip to you then. How do you think things, or why have things changed, do you think?
I'm going to go ahead and piggyback right on what she said. Social media has definitely opened up an entire gateway. It's exposing a lot of things, and things are instant now. You have the entire world right there at your fingertips, so you have access to a lot of information, all these different type of videos. People are able to instantly connect with someone way across the world. So you get a chance to have these deep conversations about these issues instantly, all the time. I remember in elementary school, we were so excited just to write a pen pal, and it took an entire month to get a letter back. Now I could write somebody in China and I get an instant response. So that definitely plays a huge role in what's going on today. But I think there are pros and cons to it. I think it's absolutely great that they're able to utilize this for something positive so that they can connect with more people and get their voices heard, give themselves another platform.
And the cons?
The cons to the social media is it does make the world a lot smaller. I think people aren't as connected, or maybe don't value those things anymore. Like I said, in elementary school, it took a month to get a letter back. So as a child, you appreciated that time, and you couldn't wait to figure out what your friend way across the world was doing. When you graduate high school, there's really no point of even going to a high school reunion because of Facebook. I know that your children are involved in soccer. I know what activities you participate in on the weekend. So it kind of makes the world a little bit smaller, and I think people kind of distance themselves that way as well.
Zari, I saw you nodding your head earlier. What did you want to say about this?
Everything that she was saying was pretty much right. I've learned to value and appreciate a lot of things because I know that I am fortunate, but at the same time I'm not like rich. So, and I'm kind of like a mediator, you know, for my friends, because I have friends that have more money and have better things than I do, and I also have those friends that have less than I do. So, you know, I'm just very appreciative of, you know, everything that I have and the people that are in my life, and so I really do value it.
Tarnisha, I'll put you on the spot now. One issue in the news, police body cameras. How do you come down on that?
Well, I think it's something that it's necessary to have. It has accountabilities on both ends. I think it puts you a first-line view of what's going on if the body cams are not altered, I would say. So I think it's something that it's needed in the communities for the police officers and vice versa for the safety of the police officers and the person that's being arrested or in questioned.
I know one concern I've heard is the invasion of privacy, but I believe the rule is officers wouldn't have cameras on during their entire shift, but just rather during encounters. And perhaps those cameras could tell the whole truth. If we saw those, it might clear up some inconsistencies.
I would agree. If it taped the entire viewing of the shifts, it kind of gives you an idea of who the officer is. And sometimes when you have the cameras on, I know the camera is on, so I'm going to put my best foot forward, opposed to if it's cut off, then I'm able to say and do whatever I would normally do if the cameras were on.
You're both nodding your heads now. You're going to hurt yourself. You're nodding so hard.
Right. I think when I see videos from the police car of like when they pull somebody over and they're asking them questions, and for example, I'll never forget watching Sandra Bland, the video, and that really I just had a lot of emotions on that, and how the officer handled it and how she handled it. That could have went so much more differently if the officer, you know, was a little bit more I can't think of the word. A little, yeah, and she wasn't, you know, so like rushed in. I think she felt, you know, like intimidated and pressured. But like Ms. Clayette said, you know, if the camera is on the officer, we'll have a better like view of who that officer is, and are they intentionally trying to mess with the person that they're questioning and trying to hurt them, abuse them, or if there really are good officers, because there really are good officers around the world.
Let's go with that. Law enforcement deserve respect?
Right now, we need to focus on a bigger issue here. Yes, there are good police officers and there are bad police officers. But right now, we need to focus on the systematic problem that we're having in this country, and that's mass incarceration and police brutality. So as a whole, we need to address the system. You can't pinpoint one community and say, okay, because the police officers are doing great here, or a few of them are doing great in the system, that, okay, we can just kind of appease it and let it go about. No, we have to address this on a larger scale. We need to start changing the way these officers are trained. We need to start changing the hierarchy in which they get to choose which communities they police. That's another issue that we're having locally. Community oversight is something that's very needed and very important. Community oversight of the sheriff's department, of all these excessive complaint reports and things like that. We need other people supervising the sheriff's department besides just the sheriff's department. This is something that's needed locally and nationwide, and that's something that Answer Suncoast is actually working on.
Okay, on that note, we'll take a brief break and some final thoughts from our guests, as well as viewer mail about Friday's show. Stay with us. Welcome back. A younger generation involved with activism. We're joined now by our panel for some final thoughts. And Tarnisha, why don't you start our final thoughts?
Just want to highlight, and actually I want to celebrate this young lady here, Zaria, for taking the spear by the horn and taking it forward. And historically, that has been the arena of freedom fighting. It has been around the younger generation. And so that's something that I think has gone passed down from generation to generation. And this is nothing new has happened up under the sun. And I believe that we talk about the lost generation, but I believe that you guys are not a lost generation, that you're carrying that torch. And we're really excited about the carrying of the torch. And we also, next week on October the 14th, we have Trayvon Martin's dad, Tracy Martin, who will be our keynote speaker here at the NAACP of Manatee County. So we're really excited about that.
Right, and before that, you have an event as well, Zaria?
Yes, next Saturday we will be having another rally at Riverwalk from 10 a.m. to 12 in the afternoon. And we have a GoFundMe set up. We're doing a community cookout for the homeless November 12th, and we would love any type of donations. And you know, everybody can come out, you know, support. So it'll be very good and important for that to happen.
Good. Nanette?
I just want to end by saying this is a time for the youth to have their voices be heard. And I am calling on all local community leaders, on all mentors to come out and really support them, help them in this journey. It's our duty as older adults and as the elders to, as Tarnisha said, pass them the torch and to help them along this journey because they require our mentorship and our guidance.
Zaria, do you have any goals of working in, what are your career goals?
Of course, college. I want to do music production, but now that all of this is happening, I kind of wish I could just jam pack all of this plus music. I know I can do it, and it'd be something so different to do. So I'll be going off to school somewhere to learn about music production and do further things.
I'm sure you'll do very well, whatever you choose.
Thank you.
Before we go, we want to share some viewer mail from Friday's program, in case you saw it. Our topic was immigrant workers here on the Sun Coast. The majority of them support themselves as day laborers, often in construction or agriculture. Because of their legal status, though, benefits and protections aren't available. Here's what you say about that. John Hurley Jr. wrote, if someone wants to come for the American dream, they should do it legally, just like our ancestors did. Otherwise, they are here illegally and should be sent back to where they came from. Jeannie Harrington writes, it's not right to punish people who want to come here and have a better life. Most refugees have skills and talents. People act like all of them are not good people, and that's not true. And Sean B. writes, I work on the side of the road cutting grass. I supervise about 12 immigrant workers. I wouldn't trade them for 50 young Americans. We tried. It doesn't work, or they don't work. If you want to comment on tonight's topic, visit our Facebook page at facebook.com/news@7. Thanks again to our guest tonight, Tarnisha, Zaria, and Nanette. Nice to meet you all.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you.